Welcome to Rocket League Academy. At the beginning of this month, Psyonix added competitive extra modes along with the new update. Those extra modes are Hockey, Hoops, Drop Shot and Rumble. Out of all of them, Rumble is currently the most played one. Because of the popularity of the game mode, there is gonna be a big demand on a tips video to help people rank up in Rumble. And that's what this video is gonna be. In the first part of the video, we will be talking about what Rumble is and the basics of it before we go into more advanced tips for the higher Rumble ranks later in the video. Let's not waste any more time and get straight into the video. Let's start by talking about the game mode. So what exactly is Rumble? Rumble is pretty much a normal game of Rocket League with a twist. A game is still 5 minutes in length, you still have to score goals to win, however there are now power-ups. And these power-ups make it feel completely different and chaotic. Every 10 seconds, every player gets a random power-up out of the 11 available. Some of them last from 5 to 10 seconds while others are instantaneous. The timer until you get your power-up is located next to the boost indicator, and that switches to the icon of the power-up once you got it. In order to activate and use your power-up, you have to press the left stick, or also called L3. Now that we have explained what this game mode is, let's quickly go through the 11 power-ups and what they do in the situations where it's good to use them. We will be covering the power-ups in no particular order. The boot. The boot is a power-up that only affects your opponent's cars. The game automatically locks onto the closest opponent, and as soon as you press L3, a boot comes out of your car and hits your opponent away. The power-up is best used to kick your opponent away just before he takes the shot, or boot him after you took the shot to score an easy goal. The Disruptor, another power-up that only affects your opponent's car. The Disruptor also targets the closest car next to you, and as soon as L3 is pressed, your opponent goes supersonic, or the fastest his car can travel, for around 10 seconds, and while in that stance, he can brake, so he is forced to drive around for those 10 seconds. Best uses of this power-up would be in defense to get rid of an opponent. It can also be used in attack, but it's a risky one since as soon as the power-up runs out, your opponent will be left with full 100 boost. Freezer. Freezer is the first power-up that only affects the ball. The freeze targets the ball, you gotta be somewhat close to the ball though, and when L3 is pressed, it freezes the ball in place or air for around 6 seconds. As soon as the ball is touched by another car, the freezer loses its effect. The best use of the freezer would be while defending, to stop the goal from going in situations where you cannot get back in time, or when the shot is too quick to get to it. It can also be used in attack, however that is more tricky and we will cover that in the second part of the video. Grappling Hook. The Grappling Hook is another power-up that only affects the ball. Again, as the freezer, you need to be in somewhat a close range to the ball, and the power-up locks onto the ball. When L3 is pressed, your car grapples onto the ball and gets pulled towards the ball at supersonic speed. The power-up can be used in attack and defense effectively to get a surprise shot on target or get a surprise clearance. Haymaker. Haymaker is similar to the Grappling Hook. Targets the ball and you need to be in close range of the ball. However, instead of launching your car at the ball, Haymaker releases a big punching glove from your car that hits the ball away. Effective in defense to get rid of an oncoming shot, but more effective in attack to put a powerful shot on target. Magnetizer. Magnetizer is one of the more difficult power-ups to understand. By pressing L3, the power-up is activated and your car acts like a magnet, attracting the ball to it when in close range. The closer you are to the ball, the stronger the force will be at which it's attracting the ball. It can be used very well in attack to drive around with the ball next to the car, and your opponents will have a hard time hitting it away from you without a power-up. It is not recommended that you use the magnet in defense, since you need a second or two to stay close to the ball to actually attract it to your car. Time you won't have when your opponents are attacking. Plunger. One of the better power-ups in the game mode. The plunger also locks onto the ball from close distance, and when L3 is pressed, the ball will be pulled towards your car. Great when used in attack. You can just position yourself in the opponent's goal after a failed shot and just pull the ball in, or make a last second save in defense by preventing a shot from going in. Power Hitter. When activated, a yellow aura appears around your car and lasts for around 10 seconds. When the ball is hit while Power Hitter is active, the ball gets shot with incredible power and speed. A very good power up to use in attack, especially from close range, since the speed the ball is shot at can be too high to react in time, or the power is too high and shot cannot be saved. Not the best power up in defense, as you actually have to touch the ball to clear it, putting you at a disadvantage against other power ups. Spike. Spike is one of the most popular power-ups. When the power-up is activated by pressing L3, spikes come out of your car. When you touch the ball with the spikes, the ball gets glued to your car for around 10 seconds. A very good offensive power-up, as you can drive into the opponent's goal with the ball stuck to your car. Be careful, however. Once an opponent touches the ball while it is stuck to you, the spikes immediately deactivate. Swapper. Targets the closest opponent car to you, and when activated, you and your targeted opponent switch places. Can be very good to get rid of the last defender and allow your teammates to score on an open net. However, there are more uses, which we will cover later in the video. Tornado. Probably the most random power up on the list. When L3 is pressed, a tornado appears on top of your car which manipulates the ball or your opponent's cars. It's very hard to use it on the ball and actually control what it's doing since it's very random. However, a very good use of it would be to swipe the opponent's backline and get rid of every defender to help your teammates score. Now that we have gone through all of the power-ups and explained what they do, let's get into advanced uses of the power-ups to help the people that really want to get to the highest ranks in competitive Rumble. First thing you gotta keep in mind is that a lot of the power-ups counter other power-ups. Swapper can get rid of a player carrying a ball with the spikes. The force the magnet attracts the ball at is higher than the speed of a user with the spikes. Haymaker can completely get rid of a ball being carried by the magnet, and so on. Try and save your power up and wait for the perfect time to use it. A lot of the power ups can become even more powerful when aerial play is implemented. A flying car using the spikes can be very hard to stop without a good power up. Someone using the magnet while flying can also be very difficult to stop. And even the plunger can get even better when combined with some aerial plays. Some power-ups like the swapper can be used in many intelligent ways. Shooting the ball and swapping with the last defender to let it go in. Or driving up the ceiling and swapping with an opponent resulting in him falling, giving your team a 3 versus 2 for a few seconds while he recovers. There are power-ups like the Grappling Hook, which can be used to launch yourself with the ball in the air, giving you more opportunities to score from. Or methods to counter power-ups like the Disruptor by just power sliding. Or use the power and speed to your advantage. Power-ups like the freezer can be used to freeze your own shot and making your opponent miss the ball completely, resulting in your teammate having an open goal. There are also power-ups that can manipulate the ball in crazy ways by being creative. Taking the ball up the wall to the ceiling with a tornado will get the ball stuck between the ceiling and your car as you fly down, resulting in some crazy ways to set up your teammates. Another very difficult technique would be combining the spikes with the flip reset. By jumping on the ball with all 4 wheels and activating the spikes, you get an unlimited amount of flips and can start flying with the ball without even using boost. These have been just some advanced techniques you could use to improve your Rumble gameplay. There are probably more we haven't covered and even more that haven't even been discovered yet. Be smart and be creative with your power-ups. Try to think outside the box and you might pull some amazing plays with even the weakest power-ups. Thank you all for watching. This video took a very long time and we would appreciate it if you left a like. As always, let us know in the comments what you liked and what you didn't like about this video to help us improve in the future. This has been Rocket League Academy. We will see you all in the next one.